You guys from my novel in progress, which is it takes place in Australia in 2009 during the Black Saturday bushfires or forest fires in the state of Victoria. I'm going to be reading two short sections. The first one's kind of serious, and the second one hopefully is a little bit funny. All right. A high school student had once asked Steve what the worst part of being a firefighter was. The car radios, he had said. The car radios that were still on after a fatal or near-fatal car crash. When Britney Spears or Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber echoed over the broken glass that decorated the asphalt. When engine oil and sometimes blood was seeping from the wreckage as he and his crew used the metal jaw cutters to extract broken bodies from crumpled cars. When sickeningly peppy pop songs dropped out the groans of steel and the panting and moaning and crying of a driver or a passenger who was fighting to hold on. But if that same teenager had asked him now, as he sat here in the fire truck on top of the hill, he would have revised that statement. He would have said, it's this waiting. This was the worst part of being a firefighter, this powerlessness as he watched the fire make its way through the valley below. Sitting here with his crew, fully kitted and outfitted, with years of experience under their belts and knowing full well what to do, but not being able to do anything. The rest of the crew looked tense too, in their yellow fire suits, helmets in their laps ready to spring into action. They were waiting for a break. A change in the wind, a cliff, a mountain, a stream or riverbed to change the course of the fire that swept through the countryside. Never fight the front of a fire. Every rookie knew that. The fire front was too fast, too aggressive and unpredictable to fight. Always attack from the flanks. So they had to wait for the fire to pick a direction, to have a flank. After 15 plus years as a firefighter, Steve knew how to comfort families who'd lost everything, what to do if he found a child that was lost, how to maintain a proper, clean fire break, what to do with animal carcasses after a fire, how to gauge if a fire was going to jump over you and come at you from both sides, how to tell when the wind was changing direction, and how to survive the heat in his own firefighting suit as he battled the flames. He knew how to do these things because he was active during all of them. He had a role, a task, a plan, and he was good at performing those tasks under pressure. What he didn't know how to do was to sit back and relax as something bad happened, how to do nothing. Watch this monstrosity of a fire sweep across the Australian bush he loved so much. Watch it move through things, houses, schools, roads, electricity poles, sometimes even a moving car. Watch it destroy everything and still not do anything. To distract himself from his growing anxiety, he pulled his mobile phone from the pocket of his yellow suit and reread the text message his mother had sent him that morning, the only text message his mother had ever sent him. As I read this, can you try to imagine the text message in all caps with no punctuation? Hi, honey, it's me, Mom. Guess what? I got a cellular phone. You always said I had to get one, and today I went to the store and I did, and I got one with big buttons, like you said, and the young man was very nice and showed me how to use it and explained about the textual messages, and I thought I would try you first. I was wondering if you had some time this week or maybe next week to come by and check a few things around the house, just some simple electrical stuff, and also the phone is acting a little weird, and it's all things your father did, but I don't really know anything about. Anyway, if you have some time, maybe this month, that would be great, but if not, I understand, so maybe call me back. That is, if you get this message, I don't know if I'm using it properly. It's all a little confusing still, but the nice young man told me about the textual messages and said that it was like the emailing system on the internets, but except textual messages cost about 10 cents a message, which I don't think is much at all for a message that you can just continue on typing in endlessly, although my fingers are getting quite tired now. But overall, I like the phone so far. I got one with the big buttons that are easy to press, but big drawback to the messages system is it seems to be devoid of punctuation, although much of the world is poorly punctuated nowadays, so no matter there. And honey, if you get a chance to come over here, maybe you could look at the plan or contract or whatever it's called that they gave me for this phone. Your father was never one for the onlines or wireless things, but I think this will be a good development. But anyway, it's not up to him anymore. And you remember my neighbor Betty, she said that when her husband William died, she got one of them cellular things phones, and she now receives textual messages from her grandson, and I thought that's nice. And now she's not alone with those cats she has, but has some contact with the outside world, and not just me. But I was thinking maybe once the little ones are a little bit older, I can textual message them too, but I hope they don't have cellular phones yet, do they, honey? They're much too young, and with the brain damage and all the radiation rumors I keep hearing, maybe best to wait a while. Speaking of which, how are the kids, sweetie? And Annie, say hi to Annie for me if you get this all right. Then give me a call, and maybe you could come by and look at the phone plan I got. Anyway, if you have some time, it doesn't need to be this week. This month would be fine. And else just call, and maybe also while you're here, you could set up that DVD player you and your sister got me for Christmas, because Jim didn't get a chance to set it up before he passed, and I quite think I would like to try it. So maybe if you have time, give me a call, and we can set up a time, and maybe you could bring the kids over, and we could make a day of it. Well, that's good then. All right. Only if you have time, of course. No worries. Otherwise, so I'll just go check on Betty now. Bye, love. Mom. Thank you.
Inge Lamboo, ladies and gentlemen.